Hello traders, this is Blake Morrow and I am one of the founders of ForexAnalytix, and I want to welcome you guys here to our introductory webinar. And this is really exciting for myself and for the team, which I'll talk about them here in a moment. I'm so excited about this particular product because it's something that we've wanted to build for a long time. It's basically a delivery system for analysis. And as you guys know, there are several methods of analysis in the market, and for us to deliver a product that can allow the trader like yourself to see different methods of analysis at the same time and try to match them up to all, point in the direction that you're trying to trade, whether it's long or short and whatever instrument you're trying to trade. That was really the reason why we put this together. And so I'm so happy to have you all here so I can introduce it to you and introduce our spectacular team as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in our team, and let me go ahead and show you the ForexAnalytix product. So stand by one moment while I grab them. And just to let you all know, we will be taking some questions a little bit later. So I'm going to unmic or unmute Nick, Grega, and Steve. Can you guys hear me?
Sure. I can hear you.
Oh, very good. I can hear you, Steve. You're very faint. Nick, are you there?
Yeah, great. Hello.
Okay, great. And then we have Greg Horvath. Greg, are you there?
Yes, sure.
All right, very good. We can hear you guys. So what I wanted to do first and foremost is introduce our team, and let me get back over to I'm just going to get to ForexAnalytix.com. You can see our team members here. Myself, I'm Blake Morrow. I'm also the Chief Currency Strategist at WiseTrade. This is, obviously a different analysis product that we have, but this is something that myself and the rest of the team, we really wanted to put together. So we put it together as ForexAnalytix. We have Nick, which I want to pass the mic off to Nick for just a moment. But Nick, I will do that next. Nick, she's many of you know her on Twitter as Nick Trades, and I've been friends and working with Nick for many years, and so it's great to have her part of this. Greg Horvath's very well known and probably one of the better known Elliott wave traders and analysts that I've come across, and I know many traders would echo the same sentiment. We're very excited to have Grega as part of our team. Stelios, which unfortunately Stelios is traveling right now, so he can't be with us today. He's great. His macro mind is awesome, and it's really a pleasure to have him here. And then Steve, I'm not even going to pronounce his name because I'm going to let him do it himself. It's Steve V for anybody who wants to know. He's a great jack of all trades, from technical analysis to macro analysis, and I'm going to let each and every one of them say a little bit about themselves. Myself, just to let you guys know, I'm more of a technical guy. Like to sprinkle in some macro and sentiment bias and in the markets as well. But Nick, I'd like to introduce you first. Nick, are you there?
Hey, hello.
Hey, good. It's good to have you here, and thank you for being part of ForexAnalytix.
How long have we been planning this? Like years. It feels like years.
We have been planning this for a long time, and it's finally come to fruition. So, could you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I've been trading stocks for myself since I was 15. I've been trading for a living since. Yeah, I started trading in 2006 and probably full-time 2008 for a living, and for the last year and a half I've been at a private fund. So, but I'm a complete technical analysis geek. My favorite things are Fibonacci, harmonic patterns, and I look at things like moving averages as well to trigger entries.
And I have to tell you, you are probably what I've always considered is my go-to person as far as harmonic patterns in the markets, and whenever I see over the last several years, whenever I'd see a chart coming across my Twitter feed, and it came from Nick, and it was some harmonic pattern in the markets, I always stopped and looked at every chart that you posted. So I,
That's
because
really nice of you because they don't all work, you know. They just really add, you know, really, I think most people look at support and resistance levels first, and then all of these other things really add weight to which ones are going to work, I think. So
exactly, and you know, that goes to the reason why we put ForexAnalytix together, is to bring several types of analysis together, and hopefully you've got several of them jiving at the same time, and
yeah,
and increasing the probabilities of that trade, you know, moving in the direction that you had anticipated. And that's you know, which I'm excited to show everybody what we've been doing. And matter of fact, I know you wanted to show some charts, and I know not just myself, but everybody else here would like to see some of the charts that you've put together. But I'm gonna move over to Grega.
no, we'll do that at the end.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end. So for those of you that are looking for some charts of things that we've been looking at, we are going to cover some of that today. The next person I want to introduce from our team is Grega Horvath. And Grega, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because I'll tell you, Elliott waves for me is something that I would say if there's a weakness in my analysis toolbox, it's Elliott waves. And that's why, Elliott wave analysis, and that's why I think it's so powerful to have somebody like you on the team. So can you tell us about yourself and a little bit about what you do and how you analyze the markets?
Sure. Actually, I'm in Forex since 2003, and at the start of my career, actually, I was looking, like everyone else, for some holy grail in the markets. I was looking for a trading system that would make you money. But you know, I just think that this does not exist. So actually, you definitely need to put some work into the markets. And at the start of my career, I just found that Elliott wave analysis fits my style because I like charting. I like watching price action very closely. So I'm doing Elliott waves for the last 10 years or so, and I really like what I do. And I mostly trades currencies, but for the last few years I'm also focusing on some other markets because I think that Elliott wave can be applied on any market that can offer you very good opportunities for investments.
Absolutely. And I was going to say that I was going to add that Elliott waves to me helps me find really good pivots in the market, especially when I'm looking for a turn. Is that how you use Elliott wave analysis mostly?
Yes, actually there are particular patterns that have a lot of, or probably have a lot of, or high probability for success. So you have some of the patterns that we will be tracking very closely with our members, and that I will highlight them a lot of times on the website. So definitely there are good price action that can offer a good opportunity. So there are typical price action but obviously you need to understand some guidelines of the Elliott wave theory, but that's why I'm here to help others to understand the market and price movements better.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you having you here, Greg, and I know you wanted to show some charts as well. So after we talk to Steve, we're going to take a look at some of those charts, and maybe you can show some of the traders how the Elliott wave theory works, and kind of some of the good setups that you're seeing today, which would be great.
Sure, of course.
All right, fantastic. And the last teammate I wanted to introduce, because Stelios is not here. He's, like I said, he's traveling. Unfortunately he's not going to be able to be on this webinar today. But
although I think Blake, you can go ahead and say a few words about Stelios. I mean, you know everything.
Yeah,
about him.
He's an awesome macro analysis, big picture person. So not only does he understand obviously basic technical analysis, and he finds some really good ideas. He's a great trader, one of the only people that I knew picking up silver in the low teens, and just recently spun out of his big silver position that he's had. He also sees things in a big macro point of view, and because of his extensive education and training with banks over the years in London, he's going to be a great addition to. He is a great addition to our team, and so a lot of the overarching themes that you'll be reading about with ForexAnalytix and a lot of the blogging and the macro analysis you're going to see coming from Stelios. So although our analysis, the way that we gear it, and we'll show it here in a few minutes, is geared so you'll notice that our whole platform, we all work as a team, providing you, the trader, ultimately analysis from every angle. We try to capture every angle, or at least most of them out there. Now, and last but not least, you just heard his voice. I wanted to introduce Steve V. Steve, can you pronounce your last name for us?
Hey, Blake. Yeah, it's Greek names. It's Vulgaridis, actually. Yeah, I know it's not easy to replicate, but anyhow, it doesn't matter. First of all, I'm happy to be here among you all. What you haven't told people already is that besides being being a close-knit bunch, traders that collaborate with each other, we've actually also got a very good chemistry, and that's also very important. And it shows in our work, and people will realize it sooner or later. For example, we are friends. We're friends with Stelios, Nick, Grega. We met more recently, but we're working perfectly together, and I think it's coming out very, very nicely, and people will realize. To say a couple of words about myself, I've studied both finance and business administration, and I don't think my studies are over. I always like to have something on the side after of course finishing university and my majors or bachelors, depending on if you're in Europe or US, you have different names. I found very fast that I had an inclination for trading. I've traded my own money, I've traded my family's money, I've worked for a private fund very successfully, and I'm still collaborating with them, offering trades, analysis, and everything. Bottom line, I, as the rest of you, have been making a living from the markets. On the side, I love sciences, I love sports. I'm married, I have a newborn child, as you know. And having to do with trading, I love technical analysis, but like Stelios, this is what we have common with Stelios, since my studies have been on finance, and I've done a lot of economics as well, since it's one of the sciences I love. I always do a top-down analysis. I always like to start from the macro perspective and, take it down to technical analysis, although I still prefer to use daily charts. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that is going to trade through hourly charts or, scalping or whatever. That's it more or less about me. To say a few words about the product, because Stelios and I have been more involved with the development part. This is a great product. It took 9 months of extensive work with a group of extremely capable developers. We all here had, I think, a great vision, which we expanded on the way, and they had the know-how to actually produce, something more even than what we had in mind initially. This platform in general delivers a product, a service, essentially, which has been fine-tuned to not only meet the needs of the crowd, but also always having in mind the potential for expansion, which in our opinion is unlimited. And I mean the word unlimited. I mean the only barrier is our imagination, and of course the feedback we will get from our clients. What we had in mind, as you very well said, was not offering another service that simply covers one aspect of technical analysis, but a multi-perspective approach, like nothing brought to traders before. This is not a blog like that someone uploads a few charts from, let's say, only Elliott wave analysis, because that's what they do, or let's say simple Fibonacci's or harmonics, or simple technical analysis or producing some macroeconomic views. This is the product of a collaboration of seasoned traders with different, but I think the key word is supplementary perspectives and market analysis skills. Working under this great technical umbrella, this is what I want to think of our platform. I think the result is good. For example, we use algorithms, just to give an idea to the people that are listening. When we're uploading analysis, instead of deciding through all that for biases, there is an algorithm that analyzes the charts we upload, and this is how we derive short-term and long-term biases. People can customize the site a lot according to their preferences. I mean, for example, whatever notifications they want to receive, even from the slightest thing like a simple breach of a support or resistance, or if they don't want to receive that, of course, by default it's disabled, to serious things like a new pattern in play, a new alert. Alerts are usually bundles of updates that are usually connected to some kind of an event. Let's say, for example, what happened the other day with the Brexit referendum. That would obviously come out as an alert with included updates for everything that had moved in the market, and perhaps trading patterns in play. I mean, to go back to the main dish, our subscribers have the ability to review in one screen our traffic light page, the one you're showing at the moment. Multiple markets at the same time and multiple perspectives. As you see, there are all the different tabs of analysis. You can just see a single traffic light there, but by clicking on it, as Blake I'm sure is going to do now, you're immediately transferring yourself to the analysis page and the corresponding analysis you chose to have a look at. But at the same time, from this page, you can browse through the different analysis or the different tickers as well, just by using either the drop-down menu on the left or the tabs you see on the right-hand side. Blake, you personally know me very well. You know my perspective. Information is always valuable. Obviously, nobody has to act according to every single piece of analysis out there, including our analysis. In my humble opinion, actually, they shouldn't. But they can use our analysis to either confirm their own bias or reject their own bias if they already felt uncertain about it. And the true thing is that if people are patient and wait for the stars to align, as we say, it doesn't happen so rarely. I mean, imagine how many meetings we had that we had a common perspective with Nicola and Grega and Stelios about where the market would move. And usually, when most of us agreed, we were, I would say, more than 70% of the times right. So people can wait for the times that the analysis aligns, and statistically that should offer even better signals. Also, there are people, of course, that don't like some kind of analysis. They can, not even subscribe for it or not take it into account. So I think this is what we offer, more or less.
And let me go ahead and interject here, Steve. As far as like the analysis goes, it's really important to understand, and I've always taken this approach with Wise Trade, and many people know me from the daily webinars that I've been conducting for 14 years, and they've actually heard your voice before because I've brought you on a guest over the years, especially as we dealt with the European debt crisis.
The Greek crisis, yes.
The big Greek crisis. Of course, I bring in a Greek friend of mine that obviously is now a partner in this whole venture. But the thing is we, I'm always in the camp of doing the analysis in the markets, but looking to increase the probabilities that this trade is going to work out, because you're never 100% sure and you're never guaranteed anything in the markets. But if I can look at several methods of analysis, and especially even analysis that I feel I'm not so good at, but I do trust somebody else's analysis, I'm going to use that to help me decide if the probabilities are enough in my favor for me to take a trade. And maybe it's even seeing a different point of view that I hadn't seen before, because as every trader that's listening in right now could attest, we all become biased. We all look and we all want to see what we want to see. But it's taking a different approach and seeing different people's analysis, especially traders that you trust, that you've heard their names, you've watched their analysis for years, taking their analysis and saying, okay, why did the basic technical analysis point this direction, or how come I think that the dollar is a good sell here, but on a macro, from a macro standpoint, this is a couple key points that I might have missed. That's the importance of ForexAnalytix, is being able to put all that analysis together. Now, one other thing that I wanted to mention, Steve, is we have what you see down here is called a pattern in play. These patterns in play, you'll notice that myself and Grega, he'd put one on the Aussie dollar, and I put one on the U.S. dollar Norwegian krona, and you can see that they're bullish or bearish. Entry areas, targets, and validation. This is basic technical analysis. So if you go like to the like the pound dollar, and I'm going to just use this as my example today, the pound dollar, and I want to go to basic technical analysis, and it's basically a triangle pattern with a target that points at basically to 129, a minimum target with a triangle. Well, you may or may not have seen that when you were doing a live analysis, but we have it down here in the patterns in play, and it tells you where the target and where the invalidation is, and that it is bearish. And if you can get an entry somewhere in here, that would be optimal. But that doesn't mean that that is a trade recommendation. It's just saying, from an educational standpoint, a typical wedge pattern or pennant that looks like will produce.
To interrupt and pitch in, Blake, we need to, what we said before, that the expansion capabilities are unlimited is actually very true. We, as you very well know, we already have in the pipeline a bunch of things that will be coming, like, for example, like Bloomberg making our traffic light page a parent window, and having the analysis page a child window, and also offering widgets that people can use in the traffic light page that will help them track and monitor other things in the market. But also, one of the things that is coming, the only reason we haven't produced it yet is because we need to function for some time to gather enough statistics, is the fact that every single pattern in play that comes out there, which is educational in nature because we follow what the theory says, we just make sure we pinpoint everything and follow it. Afterwards, we will keep statistics about that and produce to people statistics. For example, somebody will be able to browse in the extra page that is going to be released in a few months, the statistics page. Somebody will be able to say, okay, fine, I have a head and shoulders pattern here in cable, that means in the pound dollar. What is the percentage of chances? What is the percentage? What are the chances? What is the percentage that I have for a head and shoulders pattern to play out? And they will even be able to filter even more. For example, what is the chance that the specific pattern will work in cable, or what is the chance that the specific pattern works in general out there? And people will notice, because I've already done some mathematical analysis in the past, out of curiosity, that there are specific tickers, specific products that have the tendency to have a better, outcome for specific patterns and worse for some others. So, this is also extremely helpful as a tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And keeping those statistics, hopefully we'll draw
we've
enough
already
data.
been keeping them in the background, as you very well know.
Yes, and as we draw data over the course of the next, 12 months, 18 months, and hopefully we can display some of that data in the future. So there's a lot of things that we are working on, and I got a question that came in from Milo. He said, hey, what are you doing analysis independently or in conjunction with each other? I'm wondering whether you're going to bias each other. And that's a good question, and that's a great comment that had come in. And I'll tell you, we work behind the scenes together, our team. And for example, Nick, are you there? She's probably still.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah,
I was
remember.
I was going to say actually that I don't like people influencing my analysis at all. So that I make a point of doing all my analysis myself before I go and look at anybody else's, because I don't want to be thinking, oh, because I really especially as I respect my fellow technicians a lot, I don't want to have them, I don't want to be looking for what they're looking for. I want to see what I see, and then so I would say no. I certainly, of course, when we have to agree levels and support and resistance levels and stuff and patterns. But I would say I do all my analysis myself, and I know Gregor does all his himself because he's always first.
Oh yeah, he is. He posts his stuff
he's the workhorse.
So, and just to mention all this, just today I went to Nick and I said, hey Nick, there's a Gartley pattern setting up in crude, and take a look. And she looked at it and she goes, well, I wouldn't be comfortable with it until point D gets to the 786, which is down here. I was looking at it right here, and the thing is I brought that to her attention. She looked at it. She goes, yeah, maybe, but it should come down a little bit further, which it ultimately did.
I don't like them when they're not equal legs. There's the 1618. Like, I like it when they really line up, when the 1618 really is tight with the 786, and when it's an equal leg, and then I'll yell and scream.
And but that's a perfect example of, we work in conjunction as a team, and we talk about different things that are coming up, and we also we've had multiple discussions over the last several months about, hey, sometimes I'm going to see something that is bullish, and where somebody else is going to see something that's bearish. Like, for example, if you look at the pound dollar, the harmonic, might be green, Elliott wave is red. That's the thing about using different types of analysis. You will have some analysis crossover, and they may not complement each other. But that's important to understand that as a trader, that not everything is going to line up all the time, and when things do line up all the time, that tends to be more of, again, it's stacking the probabilities in your favor when you're trading, and that's the point we're trying to get across here.
And I'm going to add something really cool about our side that nobody's mentioned yet. And
sure.
and we recognize everybody has, we aren't everything, and that you're not going to spend your whole day staring at our website waiting for something to change. So we have a really cool alert system, which eventually will be an app by December. So, if you're on Twitter, like I usually am, or you're staring at charts yourself, which is the other thing that I do all day, when we see a pattern set up or a breakdown, whether it's an Elliott wave setup or a harmonic setup or a candlestick or whatever, we have an alert system, so you'll get a pop-up message, and if you're away from your computer or on your phone, you'll get an email as well. So you can click on the link and it'll take you straight to have a look at it, so you can see what we're looking at. So
thank you for mentioning.
Go ahead and show the notification settings.
Since
Nicola mentioned that.
So.
Yes, no, and thanks for mentioning that, Nick, because right now our product,
by the way,
Analytics,
as well, we've offered you some our market information accounts and news agencies, but you can add as many as you want, so you don't even need a separate Twitter account. You can add your Twitter feeds there. But go ahead and show the notifications, Blake.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that our platform, ForexAnalytix, the analysis delivery platform that you have right here, you can use it on a mobile browser, whether you have an iPhone or some sort of smartphone, and a lot of we already
tablets,
do,
of course. Yes.
Yeah, and we are in development right now for a mobile app that will be a standalone mobile app, which will obviously just come as part of being a...
But keep in mind, especially in tablets, I say especially in tablets because they have the, a good, decent size. The site has been extremely accurately customized for at least the popular tablets that are out there. So you can have a very, very pleasant experience using the application on a tablet. If you go ahead and try it, you'll find out what I'm telling you. But show the notifications, mate. Yeah,
so the notifications here, you can set up for your updates, alerts. You have your default lists. You can customize them and drag certain ones over and say, okay, I don't want any alerts for, I want any alerts or updates or patterns in play. I don't want anything except these specific instruments. You can grab them and then, you know, do it specific for these. You can mute. I'm sorry, was that Grega?
Sorry?
Oh, that wasn't Grega. I don't know. I don't know what that sound was, but that's okay. But you can also mute certain symbols where they're not displayed at all. This is all completely customizable, and you can save it, and it's per user.
By the way, let me make a comment here, which is important. We've exhausted all the capabilities that browsers offer. And I have to say to our users and subscribers that if you're using Microsoft browsers,
Yes.
the browser notifications that pop up from below when something happens do not work because simply Microsoft does not support them. There is even a note about it. There was nothing we could do about that because simply the product that Microsoft offers does not include that in its capabilities. So it would be ideal if you want also browser notifications, which are extremely helpful, to
Yes.
use, let's say, Chrome or Firefox. Those two browsers do support this functionality.
Great comment. And yeah, Microsoft, they call it Edge now as their new browser, or Microsoft Internet Explorer for some of you that remember or recall it being called that. It's a very tough browser to develop on, and they don't support a lot of the features that we're trying to bring.
And since you
make
mentioned
the
it,
experience
it
great.
also doesn't support the Twitter API. It's not our fault. It's not a problem of our development. Edge does not support the Twitter API that Twitter provides us with to display the Twitter feed. So that's an extra problem with Edge. Although that works in Microsoft Explorer, if I remember right. So in general, it's best using Chrome and Firefox for all those reasons.
Or Safari, because Joe just asked, can we use it?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Sorry, my
Safari,
mistake. Safari
yeah, so Safari would be the browser of choice for most iOS, iOS platforms, for those of us that use Apple products. Now, I wanted to reserve the last few minutes that we have, because the ForexAnalytix analysis delivery product, that's what you're seeing right here. You know, it's the team behind the scenes that are working to deliver you guys the analysis that you see here. Okay, and you've obviously met, minus Stelios, you've met the team. I want to give them the opportunity to show you just a couple of charts that you know they're looking at. I want to give you an example, like today in the pound dollar. You know, we were waiting for the breakdown yesterday in just the basic technical analysis, and it actually broke down today, which created the pattern in play. This all happened today, and those are the types of things that we, we'll send out the updates. You'll see the update history. Everything in the browser pops up real time. You don't have to refresh your browser. So if there's an update or something that's created real time, it'll pop up right here. Yeah, you don't have to refresh your browser. Everything's push information.
Everything is real time.
Everything is real time. You have different alert histories, so you can go back and say, oh wait, when did that alert come out? Oh, it's a pattern in play. Fantastic.
Click on the bearish pennant alert so they see how they can click then again. The one below it, Blake.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this one.
So an alert might include more than one update. For example, let's say that we have NFPs. Obviously, the vast majority of the US pairs are going to be affected. If the number is outside what the market expects usually. So an alert is a bundle of updates and or new patterns in play. That's what an alert is.
Right.
I showed them the calendar as well and the news feed. We never showed them those.
Yeah, no. I was showing them while you were talking, but I'll show them to you.
My mistake.
No problem. So if you look down below, you have your calendar, which is a recent. It's just for today, but what news is coming up in the next 24 hours? And then you have your news.
You can filter them with country, with importance, with everything.
Yeah, on the calendar, you can actually say, oh, I only just want U.S. and UK and European data, and then it brings you that that economic data, and you can clear it, and it brings up everything. Very useful calendar, especially things that are coming up immediately. I did get asked about pricing, and I'll go over the pricing with you guys here in a moment, but I wanted to give the opportunity to pass it over to Nick, and then also Grega. I'll do Nick first, and then Grega, so they can show you just some charts that they're looking at. Steve, I don't know if you just wanted me to take control here, unless you wanted to show something too.
No, go ahead, of course.
Okay.
We'll say a couple of things at the end as well, but let them show their work. That's why we're here mostly. The rest is just for people to understand how this works. Although they'll find it quite... Blake, something important. There is a tutorial and a page guide for both pages. So whatever question you have, and there is also a support button. So yeah, there is the tutorial. Each page has a separate tutorial. That you can browse through everything, and you can see whatever is missing. And if you don't want to go through the tutorial because let's say you have just a specific question, there is a page guide. Page guide highlights all the elements on the screen and lets you click on something like a number, a specific number, and then it gives you a description at the bottom. The page guide is also available for the various settings pages. So it can answer your questions there. But if all that is not enough, there is the little circle you see at the bottom right with a question mark. There is always, during market hours, there is almost always somebody available to chat. But worst case scenario, you'll receive an answer within some hours.
Yeah, usually within, well, we try to say within 24 hours, but it's usually a lot faster. It'll be faster than that.
Yeah, it's usually a lot faster than that, yes.
Okay, now I wanted to pass it over to Nick. Nick, are you there? Nick, is she there?
Or I can keep over there.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll go over to Grega. Grega, let's talk. Hey Nick, I'm going to come to you next. Grega, I'm going to pass it over to you. So I'm going to make you presenter, and okay, you're going to see a prompt that'll allow you to, and I'll tell you what chart that we have, and you can explain a little bit about your Elliott wave analysis and how you go about analyzing the market. I'll let you know when I can see your screen.
Okay.
I see the basic Elliott wave pattern.
Okay, perfect. So actually, for those listeners who are not familiar with the Elliott wave theory so much, it's probably the most important part of all this to focus on a few things. First is to focus on direction of a price movement. Then second thing, it's probably also the most important thing, it's to focus on personality of the price movement. Okay, so here we have actually 5 waves, and actually first wave, it's an impulse wave, then third wave is an impulse wave, and fifth wave is an impulse wave. While the counter-trend movements are called corrections. So actually what you want, or where you want to look for opportunities, is in impulsive waves, because that's where market is moving, and because of strong volume. Okay, so you see an increase in volume, and that's where you want to be involved. Okay, so always when you see on the chart, I will show you this chart on dollar index, this example. So always when you see a very strong move, for me it's important to wait what follows next. Okay, so for example, if after a very strong impulsive wave, okay, in just a few days, let's say you see 300 pips movement, and then I just wait what will happen. This move will be completely retraced with even sharper reaction, or will we see maybe only a slow pause that will take a few days maybe. And if you will see a slow pause, then this personality of the price action will confirm my bias that this is only a pause within ongoing trend. Okay, so, and I'm usually focusing on these poses of fourth waves and second waves. Okay, so now if you have this chart in mind, we have waves 1, wave 2, wave 3, which is typically the strongest wave. Then you have a wave 4 pullback, which sometimes is very similar to wave 2, and then you have wave 5. And now I will show you a chart on dollar index, okay, just let me switch to dollar index. Are these charts big enough, Blake? Or
Yes, I can see it perfectly fine.
Okay, good. So now you can see here on dollar index, I'm looking at the levels, the price action from 2011 low. So what we see here is actually nice bounce, which represents a first impulse, okay? And then what we have, it's a slow price action in range market. So actually this represents a correction that was shown against the previous impulse.
Which would be wave 2, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's of course wave 2. And then you can see very strong extended move to the upside, which is called wave 3. And as I said, usually wave 3 is the most powerful wave in this 5-wave sequence. And what I really like, since this wave 3 has stopped, is that this pullback is now in play for what? For more than a year, okay? And we haven't go anywhere far compared to previous very strong reaction that actually lasted for just few months, okay? So clearly the money is on the upside, is on the bullish side, because not because I'm telling so, but because the price is telling so, okay? Because we have first reaction to the upside, then a pause, and then you have a even stronger reaction to the upside, and then a pause. And what is really interesting that this pause is now already unfolding for so long that it's just a question of time when the market will break to a new high, not if the market will break higher. Because if we compare this price action to the previous consolidation, then we can see that they are very similar. Okay, so I can see that dollar index, dollar index will continue higher, and the euro dollar will take us to a new low. Okay, so actually there are a lot of pairs, a lot of markets, obviously, that are correlated to dollar index. So if we have and understand this basic view on this, which clearly has very clear wave pattern, okay, then you know what to expect on other markets. So I'm very happy and very excited to do this analysis for the ForexAnalytix, because I think there will be plenty of good opportunities just ahead of us based on these recent developments.
Well, thank you, Grega. That's awesome, and I think you just you probably made anybody who's a dollar bear kind of worried. So, thank you. But hey, that's the thing is, you know, coming to the market, showing an unbiased, you know, analysis of the market. So this way, the trader who's looking at it can see your view and have a good understanding of what you're looking at. So thank you very much, and really appreciate you talking about that. Nick, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. Yeah, hello.
Okay, I wanted to pass it over to you. So I know you had a chart that you wanted to show the traders, and thank you, Grega, once again. I'll pass it over to Nick.
I don't think we've got very much time yet, so I'm just going to. I just want to say quickly that I won't just post when we have a pattern, a harmonic pattern in play. What I'll also in the harmonic section be doing is posting for every market Fibonacci support and resistance levels. So, you know, because markets can spend a lot of time setting up patterns. So
absolutely.
That way we'll have a shorter time frame view as well. So yeah.
Did you see the screen come over, or did you want me to take?
Do you want me to share my screen? No. I thought we'd run out of time. So
we are running close. So but if there's nothing that you wanted to show, I'll just take it right back over. Up to you.
No, I was just going to show them how to navigate around between the tabs. That was all. You can do that for me.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to take back over from here. And Nick, everybody's really excited about seeing your analysis. I mean, everybody that I know that follows you just really enjoys the analysis that you provide as it is.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy, and I'm happy to be able to do it real time as well.
And yeah.
There's so much more than I put on Twitter, which is not all the time anyway. So.
Yeah, and you're going to be getting it right here from Nick.
That's one of my charts.
That is one of your charts, and they're very easy to read, which is great for all of us. Now, I had a couple. Thank you very much, Nick, and I know everybody's excited.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's got any questions, now's a good time.
All right, and yeah, there are a few questions, and but before I go into them, I wanted to talk to you guys about the ForexAnalytix pricing, and we, as a group, one of the things that was really important for us is to make sure it was priced for everybody, so everybody could take advantage of it. I mean, obviously, when you have a product like this, you basically have just taken on 5 new analysis members to your team. So you're basically, you have a whole analysis team behind you, and that's the way we view it. But we also wanted to make it very price efficient for everybody, because we know that traders come in different shapes and sizes. Some people trade accounts that are 6-7 figure accounts, some manage funds, some are newer traders that are just starting off, that trade much smaller amounts. So we wanted to make sure that everybody could take advantage of ForexAnalytix. So the pricing structure is here. It's very simple. You just have different tiers based on the analysis that you want. We have the basic analysis, and then you can add harmonic, Elliott wave, or combine them both to get our tier 3. We also offer semi-annual and annual plans, which obviously will give you a discount, but the prices range from basically $50, $55 to $90 a month, and which we think is extremely competitive with what's out there, and especially for what you get. You're not logging in, and you're not just going to some sort of blog. You actually have an analysis product that's delivering you succinct analysis in a very easy to read manner. That you can see here. And the great thing about ForexAnalytix too is we let you try it out. It is $1 just to get a look underneath the skirt, but then you get to use that for like the next 20 days. So I hope each and every one of you find it as valuable as we've tried to make it for you all, and I think most of you will find that it's a extremely robust product, and you've got a great team behind it that's providing you the analysis every trading day. We will not be providing analysis 24 hours around the clock. The Asian hours, you're going to see some gaps there. But the good news is our team is pretty diverse, so we're all over the place. So you'll see a lot of updates in the late afternoon, evenings in North American trade, and very early in European trade. So there won't be a lot of gaps, but until we can continue to build our team over the next year or two, right now you're going to see probably not Asia get as much attention as we would hope initially, but we're all still there. Anything else, Steve, Grega, Nick, that you wanted to mention before we let everybody go?
No, I think we have a pretty good economic calendar and live headlines as well. So, yeah, that's it.
Blake, you want to just very briefly show to people how they add, for example, a payment method and how they buy a plan from the site after subscribing?
Oh yeah, so well, this will take you over to my billing settings, but you can actually add cards right through here. You have to add you can add a card, you can add a PayPal account. Now I'm glad you brought that up, because over the next couple of days we will have authorization from PayPal to do reoccurring billing, because I know a lot of you are, you're in different.
Yeah, at the moment, adding a PayPal account for a few more days is not possible, but you can pay a one-off amount with a PayPal account. Within the next week, you'll also have the ability to add a PayPal account. So this way, recurring payments will be possible, but you can still pay your initial $1 to begin your subscription. By the way, the $1 for 20 days, no matter which subscription tier you choose, will give you access to everything on the site for those 20 days.
That's correct. Yeah,
you're going to get tier free access for $1 for 20 days.
That's correct, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because for the first 20 days it's $1, and you can just use it, and then let us know if you want to continue, and if not, we'll continue on. And if you want to go to a different plan, automate it, so you just go to your you go to your own account, and you can select what plan that you want to go from there.
Settings, plans, you can choose whatever you want, and you'll get the invoice, and if you choose, you pay for it, or switch, or downgrade, or upgrade, or cancel your subscription. There's no commitment. If you subscribe, you can cancel your subscription, so there is no recurring payments after that, and you'll still have access until the end of whichever period. Is it a 20-day period, a 20-day period, or if subsequently there is already another month running, so there's no commitment, and there are no hidden fees or whatever else.
Yeah, it's just month to month. We you know, if you know, if you want to cancel, you just make sure you cancel as your billing period is ending, so we can make sure so it doesn't, you know, hit you for another billing period. But it is month to month, and there are no strings attached. You know, unless you know, obviously, if you buy a semi-annual or annual plan, then you'll be there for 6 or 12 months. We did have a lot of questions, but I have to limit the interactions that we have here, just because this is a recorded webinar, and because of the recording, we can only capture so much information. But a couple of questions that I did want to address. I had a question from Ben that, I'm sorry, that I'm sorry, Brian asked about, you know, the statistics. Well, listen, you know, he said it's going to take a while to gather these statistics for the different patterns and everything, and it will. And it took us about a year to put together this platform for you guys. So obviously we want to stick around for a while, and like I said, I think we priced it competitively enough to where people will use it and not have a problem using it at all. So for, you know, what you get for the price that's being paid, you've got a lot of substance here. And also keep in mind, we will have our mobile app developed. We want to tell you by the end of the year, but hope to be a lot earlier than that, because we're in process of working on it now, and that all comes inclusive with.
If I might add, Blake, we are really always open to suggestions, you know,
Yes.
and to feedback. I mean, that's how you improve, and you know, constructive criticism is more than welcome, honestly.
Yes, and thank you for mentioning that. And remember, all of us are traders, and we're all here, and we're on Twitter, and we're very accessible. But now you know the team behind ForexAnalytix. So everybody, I hope you really enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation and you understand what we do and how it works. And if you have any questions, make sure you find one of us on Twitter, or you can always use this. You know, you can use this question just to ask for like basic questions, and then, you know, if somebody who's supporting, who's on the support can't answer that question, one of us will get back to you. So thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate any feedback that you have, and we really appreciate your support, because Grega, Nick, Stelios, Steve, and I have really tried to put together this product for you, the traders. So you know, built by traders for traders. So hope you enjoy it. So thank you very much, everybody. Nick, Grega, Steve, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great evening and great afternoon, everyone.
Bye.